Hey everyone, happy Monday. I am doing a yoga and strength training thing this morning. It's going to be focused probably for the strength training on the glutes, thighs, lower part of the body, because I did a lot of upper body stuff this past weekend. So we're going to start out, I'm kind of cross-legged. We're going to, if you can lift your one foot above the other like this, go ahead. I had no idea I could do this until recently. When I was younger, of course, I could do this. So, and if you want to start in child's pose, feel free to go ahead and do this as well. And just be grounded and centered in this very moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to face our palms up, open to receiving whatever is out there, being intentional with this Monday. So we're going to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, and really slowly counting on breathing in and releasing, setting free whatever doesn't serve you today. Breathing in, our intentions, holding and releasing. Breathing in, like ocean waves crashing on the beach. You're going to breathe in, retain, 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 and release. You're going to make this kind of noise with your mouth because in yoga, our breath work is what follows us through the practice. Our breath work is what sets the intention for the practice, and it really guides us throughout our day, throughout our life. Our breath work is so intentional and pure. Breathe in. You're going to imagine yourself soaking in the sun, soaking in whatever vibrancy is around you, whatever is pure in this world right now, releasing any stressors, releasing any tension, releasing the neck tension, the jaw tension, the upper back stress, the hip tension, the leg tension, anything that is stored within the body that doesn't serve you today. Release it. Release the stress from your body. Be present in this moment. Be free. Be able to go about imagining this free feeling within your body as you're in this beginning pose, as you're open to receiving whatever the day has set for you, whatever is out there that you cannot receive because you have not let go of anything that is holding you back. In order to receive that goodness, you must let go. You must forgive. You must move on. You must be able to set free all of those stressors and all that tension within you. So back to focusing on your breath. And then slowly transition to all fours. And we're going to start with some cat and cows. So both your palms are on the earth. You're doming out your shoulders. You're looking up at the sky. And then tucking your head under. And just feeling that stretch in your back. Really tucking your neck and your head under enough so that you can feel the stretch in the back of your neck as well. Again, focusing on the breath work because the breath is what carries us throughout life. Now we're going to lift our left leg out behind, our right arm out in front, and feel the stretch, the union of opposites, and out to the side. Just feel and hold this pose right here in this moment. Back to center, back down. Lifting your right leg out behind you, your left arm out in front, holding this pose here, feeling the stretch on this side, out to the side as well. Feeling it here. Really extend that right leg out to the side and then feel it. You're just opening up your hip flexor and setting intention for that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my 10-pound weight. You can grab whatever weight you want, and I'm going to do some ab work right here. So I'm going to lift my left leg out in front, my right arm out in front, and just crunch it in. I think we're going to do about 8 of these. 3, 4. This is working on toning our core area. 5. And it's focusing on balance. And balance is so great and so intentional in yoga and in life. It helps stabilize our core. And our core is so purposeful. So we're going to do the same on the other side. 8 of these tuck in crunches with extending your arm and your leg out in front and behind. Maintaining your balance, focusing on breathing. 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then releasing. Back to cat and cow. What I am going to do is I'm going to thread the needle. So I'm going to go back to all fours, lifting my right hand toward the sky, gaze follows, and then tucking my hand underneath, lifting my left hand toward the sky, feeling the stretch in the lower hip, lower back area. Feels so good. And then unthread the needle, thread the needle on the opposite side, and lift your left hand high to the sky, gaze follows, tucking your left hand under, lifting your right hand toward the sky. Woo, feeling this stretch. And then back down and releasing. And then back to all fours. And just really regrounding, recatching your breath, refocusing on that is what really matters. Doing some more cat and cows to transition, and then we're going to go into a downward dog. Feel how this pose feels in your body. Walk it out. Move from side to side. And just feel the stretch every time you do that pose. Now you're going to walk halfway up your mat. Half lift, forward fold, stand tall, side bend to the right, feeling the stretch. Center, side bend to the left, feeling the stretch. Back to center, mini back bend. Clasp your hands behind your back. Gaze toward the sky. Forward fold. Feel that incredible stretch in your shoulders. Then you're going to put your left hand down, your right hand toward the sky. Gaze follows. Then back down. Left hand toward the sky. And right hand toward the ground. And then a vinyasa, which is a tricep push-up. Or you can skip the vinyasa. Then back to downward dog. Taking 3 breaths to reground yourself, in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're going to begin again, halfway up the mat, half lift, forward fold, standing tall, side bend to the right, center, side bend to the left, feeling that stretch. Clasp your hands behind your back if you want, or just a mini back bend. However you want to do it, because it's your body, your movement, and whatever your body is craving is what's intentional. Right hand toward the sky, gaze follows. Left hand toward the sky, gaze follows. And then a vinyasa. I'm going to hold the plank here for a few moments though, to waken up my shoulders, my upper body, my abs, my core. Just being in this pose here right now, and then to a vinyasa. And then back to a downward dog. Walk it back out. 3 breaths to reground yourself. Now it's Monday, so you want to release. You want to be able to set the tone. You want to be able to be present with right here, right now. I know sometimes the transition from the weekend to Monday is tough. I'm going to do a twist to the right, like I'm hugging myself on this side. Center, and then twist to this side, and then back around. Mini back bend, forward fold, side twist to the right, gaze follows, and then side twist to the left, gaze follows. And then vinyasa, you can do the plank if you want before. Either way, challenging yourself is always good. And then back to downward dog. So I'm going to do some strength training first to get started with the free weights. Just regrounding my breath right now. And I'm going to step through. I'm going to grab my 10-pound weight. You can use whatever you want. It's going to be lunges. The lunges are great for your knee strength, your core strength, and lower body, which is so important. So make sure you're facing forward. Your right knee is bent, and Your left knee is gonna dip down, and you're gonna do 10 of these. And you're also gonna be toning your thigh. Now, lower body is so important to keep toned because our strength comes from there, and a lot of people don't focus as much on it as the upper body. So we wanna make sure long term we're focusing on that, especially for our knees, because our knees will take the brunt of the pain later on if we are not toning that area or strength training it. It's going to be a problem, and we will know. If you have weak knees, I'm sure you know. And then 10, and then we're going to switch. Step it back. Now, if you're not used to doing these, obviously cut the reps in half, because it will definitely feel painful, and then take a break, do the other half later. 4, 5, 6. And you want to square your hips forward to make sure that you have the correct form. 8, 9, and 10. And that was 10 lunges on each side. And then I'm going to go to a seated position. I'm just going to go to a butterfly pose real quick to stretch out my hips. I'm sure you can feel it there if you did the lunges with me. Mine are really tight anyways, just in general. So yeah, we're grounding ourselves. Whew. And then I'm going to stand up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a half-bound lotus pose. So you're going to lift your right leg up, tuck your right leg in the crevice of your left hip and your leg. If you can reach around and grab your foot with your right hand, go ahead. I cannot. So just lean over, making sure your feet are planted as close to your left foot as possible. You're going to feel this stretch in your hip area. And make sure you look down at your feet as well. You can always do it with one hand as well. So be self-aware of that. We're going to hold this pose for a few moments. So just want to give it time to set in the body and just be intentional with it. Now, these strength training poses are created to allow you to fall out so you can get back in, just like in real life. When challenges arise, you fall out and you jump back in. Now we're going to stand up. We're going to release this half-bound lotus on the right leg. Lift it in front of you, sticking your right foot in front, holding it up. Good for your hip flexor. Out to the side, back down. Now I'm going to do this on the other side, so just give your body a second to regroup. Half-bound lotus with your left foot in your right crevice. You're going to tuck it in, leaning forward, lean, lean, lean. And then, like I said, if you wanted to do it with one hand, you could. So each side of the body is different. Just being intentional in this pose, feeling the stretch. Releasing everything from your body. Feeling this stretch on the other side is so different from the first side, I will tell you for sure. So just make sure you are self-aware of how you feel and what it feels like in this particular pose. Now you're going to lean back up. You're going to lift your left leg out in front, raise your hands overhead, out to the side, back down. Now, I'm going to turn my mat sideways because we're going to do some other stretches. And if I did it the other way, you wouldn't probably be able to see. So, we're going to focus on triangle pose. So, turn your right foot to the side of your mat or the back of your mat. Putting your arms out at either side. Lean down, triangle pose on your right side, feeling the stretch in your right thigh. It's gonna feel so good after those poses that we just did. Don't dump all your weight in here. If your knee is bent, you're gonna wanna shorten your stance. Just feel this pose here. Be intentional with the moment. These strength training or pose holding ones really bring attention to how our body's feeling and allows us to release something. Now we're gonna do the same on the other side. Pointing your left foot to the left side, leaning out, left hand toward the ground, right hand toward the sky, feeling the stretch in your right side body. We're gonna do reverse triangle on the other side then. Now these poses aren't something you should really rush through, because if you rush through it, are you really getting the benefit? Everything in life is rush, rush, rush. Fast, fast, fast. You're gonna lift your left hand overhead, putting it down in between. Make sure you shorten the stance. And the point of the matter is that rushing is not gonna get you anywhere. It's not gonna serve you in life. It's just going to cause you to have issues later on. Sometimes being in the moment and being present is what's real. And I am guilty of it too. I like to rush sometimes, but that doesn't mean that it's a good thing. Some things, yes, you want to be fast with, but other times you can't enjoy or reap the benefits of it if you are rushing. Reverse triangle pose on this side. Right hand down, left hand up at the sky, feeling the twist, union of opposites on this side. Making sure you're stretching out your neck, you're not holding it tense. And then back to center. And then I'm gonna do a forward fold. You can clasp your hands behind your back if you want, and then lean forward, feeling the stretch. You know, it's funny because sometimes people just want to do the thing that's the fastest to get the results, but that does not produce results and has long-term effects, like I was saying. And when you put in the work, it feels so much better, so much more real. When you can see the transition phase, the transformation in the process, it's so real. We're going to lean up, gaze toward the sky. We're going to turn our right leg toward the right, bending our right knee, and then we're going to lean on our right leg and feel the arm overhead, stretching it out like a swim stroke overhead. You're going to feel this stretch in your left side body, and it feels magical, let me tell you. So just be real, hold this pose, feel the stretch. Then back to center. Turn your left foot to the left, lean your left forearm on it, lifting our right arm overhead, feeling the stretch in our right side body. Oh, it feels so amazing. Feels so great. Just hold it here, hold it, and be intentional with the pose. And then back to center. And then we're gonna pivot our right foot this way. Prayer twist. You can keep your leg bent or you can turn it on your tippy toe. Either way, you're going to turn as far as you can go, not tucking your head to your chest, but keeping it above. Like, as far as you twist will determine how deep your stretch will be. And yes, it will trigger you or cause you to want to fall out because it's challenging. These poses are not easy. Just feeling this stretch here. Feel, feel, feel. And then from here, I'm going to go into a half moon pose. So I'm going to put my left hand on the ground, left hand toward the sky. Feeling the stretch in your right leg and your right thigh area. It feels amazing. Don't kid yourself. Don't sell yourself short. Lift your left leg as high as you can go to feel this stretch in this thigh area, this hamstring. Oh, it feels so great. Now we're going to do those poses on the other side. You're going to bend your left knee, And then you're going to twist for prayer twist on this side, feeling the stretch. And this shoulder feels way different than my other shoulder, so don't judge your shoulders. Whew, feels great. Holding it here, making sure to twist as far as you can go without dumping your chin into your neck or whatever, because you want to have the right form for this pose to get the benefits. Don't be lazy. Laziness only costs us in the long run. Then we're going to go into a half moon pose on this side. Each hamstring will feel different. Just making sure you're intentional and you're trying to have the right form. That's what matters. Form matters so much in yoga. Now make sure you're lifting your right leg high enough. You're being intentional. You can even point your leg to get it higher. And then back down and back to the center of your mat or the top of your mat, whatever. I'm just going to take a breather, taking 3 breaths to reground yourself right here in this pose. And then I'm going to lean forward and I'm going to grab the top of my toes with my 2 fingers. And I'm going to pull my head toward the ground. It's a very active pose because you're going to feel the stretch. It's okay if you bend your knees slightly. So it'll look kind of like this. Make sure your elbows are bent to the side. You're going to feel the stretch in your legs, maybe your hips. It's going to feel magical. Just go with it. Ooh, it feels really great. This reversion of blood flow is so great also. Focusing on your breath work. Focusing on here and now. Challenges in life are so intentional and so real. What you practice on your mat is what you take outside into the real world. And not saying the mat isn't the real world either, but you know what I mean. And then lean up when you're ready. Reground yourself. Woo. And then back down just to take a breather. Man, that was a lot. So just recentering myself. I'm going to do a deer pose real quick. You're going to tuck your right leg in, your left leg out behind. And you're going to lean over wherever it feels good in your body. This stretch is good for your hips. We've been standing. We did a lot of poses where you're holding the position. So this should feel good in your body. Really focusing on bringing your breath work down. I think sometimes in life we forget to look at the small things that matter. When we get stressed, we get depressed, we lose focus, we lose clarity, we're in this chaos. We get so out of focus that we don't realize that there's small things that we can appreciate and not take for granted that we're here for. For example, nature in all of its beauty, all of the flowers, the sunset, the birds. We sometimes don't sit alone and soulless to understand how magical some of these things are in this world. And as a result, we suffer. We're stuck in the cyclical ending cycle of depression or feeling lost in this chaos because we cannot appreciate and take for granted what is in front of us. So, and all great things take time, of course. So sometimes because life and society are so fast-paced, we forget that there's more beyond it. So we're going to get out of this deer pose. We're going to stretch our legs out in front, and then we're going to do the deer pose on the other side. So your left leg is going to be tucked and your right leg behind. It's kind of like that. And then you're going to lean over wherever it feels. And this might feel looser than the other side. It just depends. So when we rush through life and we don't really focus on the small things, it's very monotonous. It gets very tedious. And I think as humans, we're meant to be sometimes alone in silence to appreciate these things or to understand what our calling is. How many times are we deceived or think that what we want is something else that we don't want because someone else has told us otherwise, because we didn't have time to sit alone in our thoughts. And I think that's what's real, is being intentional with your time in silence and really, if you have trouble sitting alone in silence, focus on nature, focus on other beauties in this world, because you're really missing out when you distract yourself from what is intentional in this world. So don't miss out. You could go your whole life being rushed and not appreciate some of the beauties in nature. So, food for thought. So while you're holding this pose, I'm sure you're realizing your muscles are relaxing. You are not as tense as you were in the beginning, and you are really in this magical moment with your pose. So don't let go, and just really let go of your breathing. That's what's important. And then we're going to straighten out our legs from this pose. Whew. And then I'm going to go into a bridge pose. So I'm going to lean down. And I'm going to lift my legs up. And then I'm going to take my 10-pound weight while I'm in bridge pose, lift it up overhead and behind. This is toning my arms. You can use whatever weight you have just to feel for it, to see. I'm going to do 15 of these, or you can go until you get tired. Just keeping your hips up. This is a good core workout. I don't even know what number I'm on, but I do know how I feel. So after you do 15 of that, this is another good workout I will show you. Is you're laying here, you're lifting your hips up, you're pulling your arms in, and we can do this for 10. 3, 4. Make sure not to dip your hips. I know it is hard because you're working on both, but it's a good workout. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, this workout, y'all might laugh, but basically, it's toning your lower body. So you're going to put the weight in between your feet, and it might be hard with this one because it's metal, but basically you're going to put it in between your legs and you're going to lift it up and down. So I have a 5-pound one right here. So I'm not sure if you can see, but you lift it in and then you lift it out. But your feet are holding the weight. So this is a good hamstring workout. So you only want to go with what you can do. So these are 5-pound weights. And then while you're doing this, you can focus on your upper body as well. So you can lift your upper body up, stretching your legs back. And your upper body always needs toning if you're looking at a computer all day. So you want to retrain those muscles to be strong, to not lean forward. Corrective exercise can make all the world of difference if you have neck or upper back pain, for sure. So yeah, so that's another one. You can do a few sets of those, whatever feels good in your body. I always say to try a variety because it's intentional. I'm going to go to an inversion real quick to stretch out my legs and go to some yin postures. So when I do an inversion, you can do crow pose, you can do a tripod, whatever's calling you today in your body. So and just hold it however long you want. Sometimes you can hold longer than others and it feels great because you feel weightless. It's kind of like this immersion of like you're floating. I don't even know how to explain it, but I've trained my body to be that like that. And if you're putting too much pressure somewhere else, then it's almost like you need to work on some other core area or part of your body, because that's going to cause a problem later on. So focusing on that is important. And then when you slowly come down from your inversion, I'm gonna go to a seated position and close out with Shavasana. In fact, I think I'm just gonna go to a child's pose or a frog pose, which you can just put your legs out wide, lean over your mat, and just let it go. Give your practice some time for your body to come back down. And really kiss your forehead to the ground, setting yourself up for regrounding, giving it all back, focusing on the present moment, guiding your breath down, and being with here and now. Releasing the tension in your neck, releasing tension in your upper back, your thighs, your hips, anywhere there's stored tension. Practicing forgiveness, being one with your breath, and focusing on here and now. Whatever doesn't serve you, let it go. Let it be free. Let it go to the wild. Let it be not present in your body. This lack of forgiveness will cause any tension in your body that is unneeded. It manifests later on as something else. Let it go. Let it be. Be one with how you feel and let it go. Release any stressors. Release anything that doesn't need to be. Really focus on how intentionally pure you are, how necessary it is to let things go when they don't serve you, how necessary it is to let things go if someone hurt you. Let it go. It doesn't matter. Know that you're right here, you're right now. You don't need that to bother you, that you don't need that to be stored within you. So that concludes my yoga strength training for today. Thank you for joining. I do have a YouTube channel and other social media as well you can follow. I hope you all have a wonderful Monday. Namaste.